Is there a viable candidate for the presidency in the 2024 election? Is there a viable candidate for presidency in the 2024 election?
No.
Okay, definitely we're talking about viability for presidency. To me, the viable choice is whatever choice we decide to make. So definitely coming up in this 2024 election, I think we have to go with Biden. I think that's the best option that we have currently. As far as, moving towards the future, talking about a 2028 run, I think there's definitely some contenders who could really move the needle as far as making sure we're getting to where we need to go.
Sure. The viability of a candidate for presidency 2024 is not necessarily complicated, but I would say requires a bit more analysis and a real truthful view of what's best for the country. And as an African in America male, I will say at 55 years of age, going back to the first time of having an opportunity to vote for president when I was 19 years of age at Michigan State University, 1988, when Michael Dukakis was running for the Democratic Party, and that was the first opportunity for me to actually go and exercise my right to vote, and following the same tradition as my family prior to that time, and going forward up into the last election of this mindset of us as a people following the Democratic Party. And I have to look and I have to evaluate and I have to say, what has this consistent, unbroken, unquestioned dedication to the Democratic Party, what has it done for me or my people? And I do not see any results that would make me feel like I am going to vote for not only Biden, but for anybody in the Democratic Party. Because what I have seen, especially within the last 4 years, is a party that seems to be more concerned about helping everyone else other than my community. Despite my community's continuous support and dedication to this party. Despite the fact that we had an African American that represented that party that became president of the United States. At 55 years of age, I'm still in a situation where our Congress has to go periodically and approve my right to vote.
I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none.
That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense that after all these years post-slavery that our right to vote is not actually just concrete and stable. The fact that every 4 years we are presented with all these proposals of how things and conditions are going to be made better for the African American community. And each year after a Democrat is elected, all it is wait, no, not time yet, wait, almost, yeah, we know we promised you that, but it's not time yet, wait a little bit longer, oh, but we're going to go ahead, we're going to pass the Asian crime bill, oh, we're going to go ahead and you got homeless in Chicago, you got homeless in New York, oh, no, that's okay, wait, just wait, we're going to bring these immigrants in and they're going to give them $900 a month. And free housing and child care and express route to getting a work permit and those things of that nature. When you've got people that have been here all their lives, natural born citizens that are suffering, and you just gonna wipe your hands to that? And even though I might not be directly suffering from that, do you think that I'm going to continue to just blindly follow you? And then they have the audacity of this dude that's in there right now to say to me and people that look like me that I'm not me unless I vote for you.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community.
What madness is that? And while people may want to say whatever it is that they want to say about Trump and Trump being a racist and this and that, what I do know is this, and it's one of the biggest things that stuck to me is that, yeah, okay, you want to call this man a racist? Yeah, he done said some reckless things.
He said Haitians. Do we need more Haitians? And then he went on and we started to describe the immigration from Africa that was being protected in this bipartisan measure. That's when he used these vile and vulgar comments, calling the nations they come from shitholes. The exact word used by the president, not just once, but repeatedly.
They may have done some reckless acts and so forth, but what I do know is that I know that there was a moment where the heads of more than one historically black college or university came to the White House. And I'm sure that them meeting Trump was not the first and only time that's happened, of them meeting and interacting with a president of the United States. But what I do know is that the time they met him and he found out that they didn't have any money, he didn't tell them to wait. He didn't tell them to wait and we go do some investigative studies and we're going to look into the possibilities of how we can help y'all out and make y'all more equal. He just gave them money.
Trump courted the leaders and then brought them to the White House last month, where he signed an executive order promising to do more than any other president has ever done for historically black colleges and universities. But when it's time to write a check, well, that check bounced. Trump's 2018 budget says it will, quote, maintain, end quote, the $492 million that was already appropriated to the HBCU community and other institutions. But according to the Washington Post, the schools were actually receiving $577 million in federal money. Yo, what happened to the other $85 million? The budget also omits any federal funds for scholarships, technology, or campus infrastructure for HBCUs that school leaders had requested. And the administration did not expand Pell Grants to cover summer courses for low-income students that they also sought. Instead, the budget cuts nearly $4 billion from the Pell Grant reserves. A number of HBCUs and their supporting organizations are disappointed with this proposed budget. The United Negro College Fund released a statement saying, in part, UNCF strongly urges the Trump administration to reconsider federal funding commitments for HBCUs and their students so that the executive order does not become a toothless tiger. That, of course, Michael Lomax, who was the head of the UNCF.
Kim Kardashian may not be the greatest role model. She may have some questionable choices as far as her relationships and how she conducts herself in the public eye. But she came forward and she said, hey, look, there are black men that are incarcerated that shouldn't be. And this dude didn't say, oh, you know what, let's study that. Let's look into that. And he definitely didn't take the approach that Biden said and said, oh, these are super predators.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets.
That need to be locked up forever because they're too dangerous to be on the streets. He said, you know what? You might have something there. Let them go.
I mean, I can definitely agree with, definitely concur with that. I mean, one of the reasons I just served almost 2 years in prison, and one of the reasons I got out was because of Trump. I mean, he did release a lot of people. I knew people in prison for less than a gram of cocaine and were in prison for 15 years under the drug bill that was passed by Clinton and Biden back in the 90s. So, I mean, you know, and I'm not a big Trump supporter. I'm a viable candidate for black people as president of the United States. Has that ever existed? I don't know if we've ever had a presidential candidate that was actually a viable candidate. I mean, the presidents that did the most were ones that were pressured into doing it the most. Lyndon Baines Johnson and Nixon after them. They the ones that pushed all that money into that gave us the free breakfast programs and the free lunch programs in the public school system, and had the different entrepreneur programs for black people that were in the 70s and 80s when we saw Detroit as epicenter for the black middle class, where the richest black people in America and pretty much the world live. But have we ever really had a viable candidate? That's a big question. I voted for Obama. I cried when he got elected because I never thought I would see a black man as president. But what did he do for black people?
It was, as you said, it was just it provided that
a dream.
It provided that symbolism, or provided that mental.
And that was important.
It was very important, and I don't want to take anything away from that. But at the same time, I would be lying if I say that I wasn't greatly disappointed over the reality that, especially the first 2 years that Obama was elected, they had everything. They had the executive office.
Legislatures were both
Yep.
Democratic, and they did very little.
And they did nothing. They had an opportunity to pass the health care.
Reparations.
They had many things, and instead
did he ever bring up the reparations bills?
They never. They just capitulated and just talked about what it is that they could do, and the reason why, even though they had all the control, why they couldn't act, because they were concerned about what the perception would be, only to then lose the Senate. And from that point on, there's never been a situation where all of the houses have been in alignment.
So America is just based on finding the new enemy, the new evil. It's got to be an evil, and basically they designate something as being evil, and everybody latches onto it, and it becomes the new evil.
And the problem with that is with social media,
right?
Because we can see who really is the evil or not, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We can actually now see they don't have so much control over the press, so the propaganda that they usually institute has failed, so to speak, and that's where you get into the issue of what's real and what's not real.